Welcome back to the Michael Batson Show. Yesterday we discussed college football expansion and college football realignment, and now I'm going to kind of focus in on the Michigan Wolverines. And one of the big questions we have in the offseason is the QB battle. It's either the young gun, the superstar J.J. McCarthy, or the game manager that brought us to success last year, where we haven't been in 25 years, and that's Cade McNamara. So many different compartments to break down here. And first I have to say that K McNair, it's hard to replace him when he did everything we wanted him to do, and he literally and figuratively pretty much saved Harbaugh's job. We were ready to fire him, pretty much I'd say after the Michigan State game, and I think if he got an 8-4 record, even a 9-3 record, and lost big time versus Ohio State, and maybe lost in a bowl game, 8-5 overall, 9-5, I think we'd let him go. But Cade saved his job. He beat Ohio State, and for the first time in 10 years, and he beat he won the Big Ten championship in the first time since I think 2001, if I'm not mistaken, and we were gonna fire him, and I think I was ready to let him go too. He's great at getting 10-2, 9-3. He's great at winning the games he's supposed to, but he's inconsistent at winning the games. For if he's an underdog or on the road, or if it's a ranked matchup. So I think first it's hard to let it's hard to let K. McNamara go when he saved Harbaugh's job, and he did, lead us to a place where we haven't been in, 10 years for Ohio State and almost 20 years for the Big Ten championship. And but the other side of it is JJ, right? JJ McCarthy was the fifth best overall QB recruit coming into 2021. There was Caleb Williams third. There was Quinn Ewers first. So he was right up there with those guys, and he played good. Harbaugh did a good job of putting him in meaningful situations. It wasn't just like we see sometimes the recruit comes in for the first 3 games versus Western Michigan and throws a touchdown, and he feels good. Jim Harbaugh challenged him in different situations. He put him in the Ohio State game, and he had a nice throw. He put him in versus the Wisconsin game. He had 2 touchdowns in that game. Georgia, he came in for all the fourth quarter, had a nice touchdown. And Michigan State, he played good. He had a touchdown there. So Jim Harbaugh, led him to success by putting him in difficult situations, and not just he had a nice touchdown in the first game. I think it was versus Western Michigan, and saying, okay, JJ, you're good. You could feel good about yourself. So he challenged him. But JJ is really good. He has pocket awareness, and it's the best time to start him right now, I think, because the offensive line we have was the best in the country last year, is going to be the best again this year. We have the number 1 transfer from Virginia coming in. We have 3 of the 5 starting offensive linemen still back, and then our skill positions are, I think one of the best Jim Harbaugh has had. He has, Roman Wilson, Adrian Lee, obviously A.J. Henning, Cornelius Johnson, not to forget about Ronnie Bell, and the new men like Darius Clemens, which I think he made a spectacular grab in the spring football game. And then the running backs, we have Blake Corum and Derek Edwards. And so this is a good time to start him because he's ready and he has good company around him. And aside from the fact that JJ is great and ready to start, because of stats. Aside from his stats, I think the other reason why Jim Harbaugh will let him start and wants him to start is that Jim Harbaugh has faced criticism over the years of not being able to develop QBs at Michigan and relying on the transfer portal too much at Michigan. And it's true. You've John O'Corn, which transferred. And then, the two best QBs he's had for Jim Harbaugh in his Michigan tender. Was one was one was Shea Patterson, and he transferred from Ole Miss, played 2 years, and one was Rudock, the best QB, probably charge of pass yards for Jim Harbaugh, and he transferred from Iowa for 1 year. And I think he wants to prove to himself and to others that one question, he beat Ohio State, he went to college football playoff, but he wants to develop a QB that he started as a freshman and he went all the way, to the draft, and JJ could do that. Because Jim Harbaugh, Stanford, he got Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck went 2 years, went to the pros, had a great career. The Niners, Colin Kaepernick, so he's done it everywhere else except for Michigan, and I think he'll see his chance in JJ because JJ's, really good. He has a lot of talent. But they're two different guys, right? Cade is a game manager, and kind of to summarize his character, after the Ohio State game, an interview came out, it was 5 minutes after everybody was storming the field, and he said, before he left, he said, but we'll be ready for the Iowa game. He's a game manager, he's very mature, and he doesn't light up on the field, but he doesn't throw any interceptions, and you could count, to have good 150, 200, maybe 1-2 touchdowns, but not make many mistakes. JJ, he's cocky. I think but he's a good kid. But I think he's young. He'll make mistakes. Like he had 3 interceptions last year. You saw he fumbled the ball versus Michigan State, I think, and that somewhat cost us to lose game. So we'll see mistakes like that if we start him this year or in the first few games. We'll see it pay off because his arm strength, his talent, and he could run the ball good. So I think that JJ will start because not only of the stats and just such a bright future, but the developmental point, because Harbaugh, wants to prove something to Michigan and college football world that he can develop at Michigan and not just in Stanford and Niners, because we've saw him do it everywhere else but Michigan. So I think that's the biggest reason, aside from he's good and he has more talent probably than Cade. But once again, it's going to be hard to tell Cade that if he goes on the bench, he's going to go on the bench because he gave us a Big Ten championship. He gave us the Ohio State game. He gave us great memories and the college football playoff game. Which we didn't win and we got crushed, but at least we were there and it was our first time. Cade led us there. So I think 2 good options. I mean, JJ, I think, has a brighter future, but Cade also has some upsides, and I'm excited to see what Jim Harbaugh does because 2 good QBs, 2 good options. That's going to wrap it up here. Please like and subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow with a new video.